Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Holy crap, Keith, what happened? Oh, my God. This is another bee sting? The swelling.
Good morning.
Or is it just the, I don't know, water weight gain from those 5 dreaded days during the course of the month?
Yes.
Does somebody need to pop you like a balloon or what?
It's one of the 5 dreaded days.
Cow. Man.
Oh, it's good to see you. I'll tell you that.
Jeffy fills in for Keith
Good
over the
to
next
see
week
you.
and a half. It's great to see you, obviously. It's hard to miss you, frankly. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of you to see. And that's a good thing. By golly, that's a good thing.
Is it?
Yeah. We got all kinds of stuff to share with you today. It's a big, jam-packed show full of fun and frivolity. And absolute insanity, of course. But we make the apocalypse fun here. That's what we do. We're going to tell you about the grand jury indictment on Donald Trump. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? It is now up to 78 total charges against Donald Trump. 78.
That's it, though.
But that's all. It's not 100. Okay, it'd be ridiculous if it were 80 to 100, but it's not. It's not. It's a totally reasonable 78 charges. Is it possible that he's going to be cleared on all of these? I just saw a thing from Alan Dershowitz who said this isn't going to hold up. He said, I carefully went through these charges in this indictment, and it doesn't hold water.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. Man, they're trying, though. They want so desperately to put him behind bars. The hatred for this guy is like nothing you've ever seen before. I mean, I think leftists hate him more than they hated Adolf Hitler, his memory.
Sure seems that way.
He is their Adolf Hitler. You would think he would have slaughtered an entire ethnic group or something.
Well,
That's how much they hate him.
He did, according to them.
What ethnic group was it?
You know, them.
Them. Okay. So, yeah, another grand jury indictment. This stems from the riot at the U.S. Capitol. Of course, January 6th. This is a 4-count, 45-page indictment accusing Trump of 3 distinct conspiracies, charging that he conspired to defraud the U.S., conspired to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspired against people's rights. That's a new one on me. So is free speech not a thing anymore? I don't think so. If you believe the election wasn't legitimate, you can't say anything about it now in the United States of America? Is that where we are? These are all free speech issues. Conspired against people's rights. What even is that? Shut up. Jeez. So, despite having lost, the defendant was determined to remain in power. The indictment charges. Of course, this is just going to, on the Republican side of things, this will do nothing but help Trump. You know, what is he at? 60% with the Republican Party already? 80%? Yeah. Where is he? I don't know, poll-wise. But every time he gets charged with something new, his poll numbers go up. They love him for it.
Yeah, they sure do.
This is not accomplishing what they think it's going to, unless they get him into prison. That's what they want. And
or he says he's not going to run, right? If he says, okay, fine, I've had enough, I'm not going to run, and then I'm sure that these charges will just, and you'd think those charges would go away. It would appear probably the way they normally do it is going to get worse, right? If he bends the knee, it only gets worse.
Yep. But he's already said he'll run his campaign from jail if he needs to. And I believe he would.
Oh, absolutely.
And he'd probably get elected that way. Well, he'd certainly win the nomination. I don't know about the general election, but man, this is getting ridiculous. Plus, he drew an Obama-appointed judge in this particular circumstance. So that's not good. That's not good for him. He tweeted out or truthed out. Is this from Truth Social? I hear that deranged Jack Smith in order to interfere with the presidential election of 2024, we'll be putting out yet another fake indictment of your favorite president, me, at 5 p.m. Why didn't they do this 2.5 years ago? Why did they wait so long? Because they wanted to put it right in the middle of my campaign. Prosecutorial misconduct. Okay? And I can go with them on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, it's going to do nothing but help his campaign, and he knows that. So
yeah, he issued a statement too. I don't know if we have that video yet. I sent it in, but I mean, he issued a statement last night as well. And
do we have that?
Okay, yeah. Let's hear the statement.
Perhaps we don't have it yet. No, there's me. So we have me. We have my open, but we don't have the term.
Okay.
yet.
Well, all right. Anyway,
we'll get to it when it's ready. But yeah, he talked about this being a dark America, and in some ways, it really is.
Heck yes.
Because you blatantly have an administration going after their competition politically. And it's just despicable. We've become a third world nation. We're a banana republic now.
Certainly seems that way. And, I see where Mike Pence issued a statement, which today's indictment serves as an important reminder. Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution
my.
Oh, no, I'm not done.
Oh, my.
Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
Wow. So Pence directly went after him, agreeing with the charges. Essentially,
well, he said
it sounds like he is.
And later on, in this statement, he talks about innocent until proven guilty. But I'm sorry. The former president is entitled to the presumption of innocence, but this indictment, his candidacy means more talk about January 6th and more distractions.
So if Pence wasn't done after that, family gathering thing a couple of weeks ago, the summit, that certainly put the nail in the coffin.
You are lying.
Bye-bye, Mike.
That's for sure.
Bye-bye. We've got to stop with this, with Republicans siding with the left in all of these things. What's the other thing? Tim Scott talking about the Florida education law.
Yeah,
the slave thing. Going after
it's unbelievable.
DeSantis on that. Stop. You're giving aid and comfort to the other side. Stop.
Plus, if anyone knows, or at least you think, if anyone knows the real story, it should be Tim Scott.
Yes, right.
I mean,
yes.
He should. There was nothing.
And he does.
There was nothing bad about slavery. Slavery was bad, terrible. Nobody believed in slavery.
No, they were not saying it was good.
What they were saying was that these people learned skills that helped them after they were free.
Right. And let's not forget, this curriculum was in part put together by blacks. So, do you think they would agree with, hey, you know what, let's minimize slavery? Let's talk about it being a pretty good thing. It's a good thing in the long run. I mean, come on.
That's not what it was at all. It's just incredible. Every day, it's something else where you go, that's incredible, and yet here we are.
And yet here we are. Here's the Trump statement.
Oh, okay.
Country is in a very dark place right now. But even after everything the deep state has done to me, I will never give up on America. Mark my words. In 2024, we will win back the White House. We will make America great again.
Pause it.
I have
for
no
just a
doubt.
sec. See if we can catch up there. His lips to the audio. It looks like a Japanese video. From the like an old Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Where their lips don't match the words. That's what's happening here. But anyway, now go ahead. Let's see if we can finish.
No doubt about it. They come at me from left. They come at me from right. The rhinos, the communists, the Marxists, the fascists.
There we go.
We will not only survive, we will be stronger than ever before. We're fighting a fight like nobody ever thought possible, and we're winning. We won in 2016. We had a rigged election in 2020, but got more votes than any sitting president. We're going to win like never before, and we're going to make America great again. I can truly say I believe better than ever before. Thank you for all of your support. and for all of your prayers.
No. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there you have it. So, in the face of yet another indictment, 4 more charges, bringing again the total to 78.
That's amazing.
He's still plowing forward. So they're going to have to put him in prison to stop him. They are,
and that's not going to stop him.
And that's not going to stop him. So I don't know.
I mean, it's if they want a revolution, they may get one.
Well,
if they put Donald Trump in jail.
Yeah, they're trying. I mean, they're trying. They'd love to see. They'd love to see that.
If they want that to happen, it just may happen if they were to put Donald Trump in prison. I am not advocating by
in fact,
any stretch of the imagination.
Quite the opposite.
Yes.
Don't. I mean, even if he's put in jail, don't get ugly about it.
No, but.
Because it does nothing but help them, just like January 6th. I mean, they've used that as a battering ram for 2.5 years
They
now.
have in this story, one of the stories from Jack Douche Smith, that he talks about, I think 5 people were harmed during the he's talking about the people that were killed.
Yeah. In the insurrection, the riot?
Yeah.
What do you use?
I forget
he
what
probably
he
called it an insurrection because that's the word they
Yeah.
use continually. Oh, such a lie. We are the worst insurrectionists in world history if that was an insurrection. We all forgot our guns.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
We've been reading about insurrections in Africa for this past week going on. Countries are actually
now those are
involved
insurrections
in coups.
Yeah,
and they are not happy with the U.S. or France or anyone. They want us out. They're friends with Vladimir Putin, though. So
yeah, good. Yeah, things are going well. Yeah, do you remember the pledge from Biden during the campaign that he was going to make our friends friendlier and our enemies scared?
How's that working out?
It's not working out well at all. I mean, he's done the opposite. He's pissed off our friends, and he's infuriated our enemies.
We're involved in another war.
Yep.
I mean, holy cow.
And there's even Democrats are starting to get really nervous about, who was it? Oliver Stone the other day, who said he made a mistake voting for the guy because he's dragging us into World War III.
Well, welcome, Oliver.
Yeah, thanks for noticing.
Oh,
Oliver.
appreciate it.
I know. They're despicable, but at least some of them are jumping off the Joe Biden bandwagon. I mean, that's for Democrats, for hardcore leftists, that's all I ask. Just see this guy for who he is, that he can't do the job, that he's an extremist, and he's got dementia of some sort. He needs to go.
He needs to go away. We'll worry about what happens after he goes away, once he goes away.
Right. And
I'm
bless
with you
his
on
heart,
that.
we'll worry about, Kamala Harris after, because that's the thing I always... Well, you want Kamala Harris to be president? Of course not. But let's deal with Biden first, get him out, then we'll deal with Kamala.
Yes.
It has to be that way. It just has to be that way. Impeach them both. Two birds with one stone.
I'm not necessarily opposed to that.
I'm not at all opposed to that. Then you got, President McCarthy, perhaps. Kevin McCarthy, would be the next in line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that, okay.
Yeah, I mean, better than what we have, that's for sure.
Yes.
Man.
Kevin should be working actively behind the scenes to make that happen.
Yes, he should.
I don't know what we're doing with anything else, but make that happen. We don't need any more hearings. I don't want any.
Republicans don't do that. They just don't. They don't plan ahead. They don't have the giblets, and they don't have the foresight to plan ahead, which is why they make me so angry. Because watching them perform in office is really frustrating. Everything you want them to accomplish, they ignore. Just like Obamacare, when they promised and voted, 55 or 60 times to rid the United States of Obamacare. Before they were in power, they voted to get rid of it. Then when they were in power, when they had the majority, they wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, at the point we were told, right, they needed all 3 branches. Once we get all 3 branches.
Yes.
Everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be wonderful.
But then what happened was they only got all 3 branches. And
so
what do you expect me to do with that?
Just incredible.
Uh-huh.
It just is.
It is.
It just is.
It is. Look, we're not kings. Yes, we have all three branches. We could do whatever we want.
That's what we said. Mm-hmm. We said if we got all three, then we'd be able to do all this, but we didn't mean it.
And for some reason, they never do.
We didn't mean it.
They never do mean it. It's wonderful. Isn't it great?
It is.
Gives us something to talk about, though. That's fun. Something else to talk about. The what do we have here? New law school poll, Republican primary. Here's the latest poll. After the third indictment now. This is great. Oh, okay. Well, Donald Trump is at 46%.
He's going to fall a little.
46%. Ron DeSantis, 22%. Huh. That's only 24 percentage points. That's the closest I think I've seen them.
I will say, I saw a clip. I hope we have it. I sent it in of Ron DeSantis on Fox News with Brett Baer. And it was the first time I'd seen him kind of fight back a little bit against Trump.
DeSantis?
Yeah, and yeah. I thought it sounded, okay. I mean, if we have it, please play it. Just go ahead, because he sounded like, I was like, okay, well, now he's starting to fight back a little bit.
Do we have that?
Now, Florida better because he has better PR than other governors, but other governors did a better job than Ron DeSanctimonious.
Oh my God.
Well, he used to say the opposite. Let's just be clear. You go back a year or two, he would say what a great job I've done in Florida, how I'm one of the country's great governors, how Florida is such a great state. He always said that for years and years, until about 3 days before the midterm election. Then he started to attack me, and I think it's because he saw that we were going to win a big victory, and I think he viewed me as a political threat. So now he's flip-flopped on all that and is trying to say we did a bad job. I fought his administration to keep our state open, to have kids in school. Fauci, the task force, all those people, they were sending me missives. Even January of 2021, right before he left office, his task force was telling us in Florida to close. And so he didn't have control over his own government. He didn't have control over Fauci. Fauci ran that government his last year in office. Trump should have fired him. He did not do that. He elevated Fauci, and he made Fauci an international celebrity. And here's the thing. I fought back against it, but the reality is Fauci's policies were adopted in a lot of the blue states. Kids were locked out of school for a year. You had businesses shuttered for good, small businesses.
Should the U.S. have locked down at all?
No, it was a catastrophic mistake to do that. Back at that time, there was a lot of uncertainty, I get it, but knowing what we know now, that was a catastrophic mistake, and we can never let that happen to our country again.
Did the vaccine work?
It didn't stop the spread. We were told if you take the vax, you will not get COVID. That is not true. And now for CDC to say they should be doing annual boosters like a flu shot, there is not sufficient data to support that. One of the things I'm going to do, we're going to bring a reckoning to the medical swamp in D.C., CDC, NIH, FDA. They failed the American people. You're going to see big changes.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. It sounded pretty good to me.
Yeah, it did. It actually did. And by the way, all this criticism of the job that Ron DeSanctimonious has done in Florida.
So do I. I really hate that so much.
But all of that criticism about how bad things are in Florida, where does Donald Trump live again? That's right, Florida.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hello.
Florida. It must not be that bad.
Oh, no, he has a beautiful place. That's his beautiful, wonderful place.
Yes, and he does have a beautiful place.
I already had that place. If I could move it, I would. You know?
It's crazy.
It is just insane.
But, yes, I mean, that was DeSantis responding, but not really inflaming the situation, which I like. Okay?
Just reminding.
Yeah, you don't need to bash him. You don't need to go after him, but you do need to respond to his criticism, and he did that. I like that. So we'll see what happens. The Trump supporters are going to be Trump supporters no matter what.
100%.
And they're going to excuse everything Trump does no matter what. I've never been in that position. I admitted that I was wrong about 2016 because he did a great job as president. Most of the things he did were really, really good. And republic saving in some cases, like the judges.
And do I wish he was still president?
Yes. Absolutely. Miss him like my dad right now. Love to have him back. But I don't like the just sheer unadulterated hatred of DeSantis just because he's running against him. So
we have to destroy.
Yeah.
We have to destroy. That's
right.
What he believes.
And Republicans need to stop punching to the right. Punch to the left. All right? We got plenty of problems you can talk to us about involving the administration we actually have, and that's Joe Biden and his administration. So take him on.
Please take him on.
Yeah, there's plenty to talk about there without tearing each other down, because it's not going to work. Then you get to the general election, and whoever's the nominee has been torn down so much that people don't vote for him. That would be a very bad thing for our republic.
Yes.
Really, really bad thing. The U.S. women's national team soccer players, who don't respect our flag, don't respect the national anthem. Many of them apparently don't like the United States of America, but there they are representing the United States of America.
Making us proud.
But they're so victimized, Jeffy, that I thought I'd look up, all right, let's see what some of their beefs are. We know their big beef is they don't get paid enough.
Well, they do now, though, right?
Well, yeah. Some would say they do, but
I thought they actually worked out a deal. I don't know. I don't know the final deal, but I thought they worked it out.
They did work out a deal where they share equally with the men's team all the revenue, despite the fact they're not bringing it in.
I'd be so pissed. That was the men's
But you
team.
be the judge.
But you can't be.
As to whether or not they're victims.
Okay.
All right. The number one highest paid women's soccer player on this planet, Alex Morgan from the United States. What did she make? $70,000 a year, $80,000 a year, ever so slightly higher than that. $7.1 million.
How is she getting by?
So picked on. Megan Rapinoe, $7 million. Let's see. Then we have Trinity Rodman, all the way down to $2.3 million.
Whoa! What did Trinity do?
I don't know, but it's wrong. It's wrong. How do you make ends meet on just $2.3 million?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either. Crystal Dunn makes $2 million a year. Julie Ertz, $2 million a year. 4 of the top 6 highest paid women in the world are from the U.S. national team. Sophia Smith, $2 million. She's number 7 on the list. Then you have Lindsey Horan, $1.5 million. Rose Lavelle, $1.4 million. Sofia Huerta, $1.3 million. All the way down to Kelly O'Hara, $1.2 million, and Alyssa Naher at $1.1 million.
Okay, good, because I thought you were going to tell me that Alyssa was under $1 million, and I would not stand for that.
I can't abide it. I cannot
would
abide
not
it.
Stand for that.
I mean, can you believe this? And they're still belly aching, and they won't respect our flag and national anthem, and they just got permission from the U.S. Soccer Federation or whatever it is to go ahead and kneel during the national anthem again.
Do we know that that's over?
No
one kneels anymore. The kneeling is done.
Right?
Why are we carrying that
right?
on?
I because they want
just
to show
like
the
a
disrespect.
woman. You can't let it go.
Oh, my.
Can't let it go.
Can't let it go.
Please just say, please, just shut up about it.
It's pathetic. It really is. I mean, these women are making... They're millionaires. They're millionaires. And you're not bringing in the same revenue as the men. So you got a sweet deal for yourself. What are you complaining about?
Traveling the globe,
right,
representing the United States of America,
yep,
playing a game that you presumably love,
mm-hmm,
and yet...
And making millions doing it, and yet it's still not enough. It's still not enough. All right.
Whatever. And all that we as Americans ask is that when you are around the world representing us,
show some respect.
Be an American.
Yeah. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. And then you looked at the other side on their first match. Remember, against Vietnam, they wouldn't sing the national anthem. Most of them didn't put their hand over their heart. They can't be bothered to even show that little respect.
Right.
Whereas the Vietnamese girls all put their hands over their hearts for their national anthem. All were singing at the top of their lungs. You know, and maybe they have to.
I'm going to say some of those countries you might not want to be seen not doing that.
But at least they put up the front. At least they showed some national pride where ours can't.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Well, that just shows that we have freedom, Pat. It's probably a better display.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Jeez.
Not in today's world, it doesn't.
No,
Not
it really
in today's
doesn't.
world, it doesn't.
It really doesn't. It shows how ungrateful they are for this country.
It almost makes one want to not root for them.
Almost.
It almost makes one want to not
Doesn't
root
it,
for
though?
them. I mean,
You got to be.
that's tough. That's tough for me because I don't want to root for Vietnam.
Right.
But I don't necessarily want to root for them.
You've got to push pretty hard to push me to the other side, wanting the U.S. national team to lose. But that's what they've done to me. I don't care about them. In fact, I was kind of hoping they'd lose to who was it they just played? Portugal. They tied them 0-0.
And they celebrated like it was a win.
Yes.
Well, it was because they moved on to the next round, but
it wasn't a win.
It wasn't a win.
They backed in to the next round, which is stupid. They were supposed to crush these guys, and they didn't. And even
if they were paid more money,
yeah, right,
they would have crushed.
Right, if they made a decent salary, maybe they could fight a little bit harder. But no,
no.
I mean, who among us can act like they're happy at $7.1 million?
No one.
Nobody could.
And here's the thing: there's only a couple of them that make the 7.
That's true.
The rest of them are paupers.
About half that. Less than half that.
Yeah, less than half. 2 down to 1.
Yeah, pathetic.
I mean, holy cow, you can't even afford shoes.
Just pathetic. They're eating most of their meals at some rescue mission during the week. It's really bad. It's really sad for them. It really is. Even Carly Lloyd, who just retired from the women's soccer team, a year or two ago? She fairly recently was on the women's soccer team. She's even criticizing them because of their effort and because of their attitudes. So it's not just us. Others have noticed it. Even their former teammates are noticing it. So do we know yet whether it's Sweden or whoever else that they play in the next round? I think it's going to be Sweden.
It's supposed to be Sweden, I thought, but I don't know that for sure. I mean, it's easy enough to find out.
Now, I think Sweden's beaten them in the past, so look out. We'll see.
I know.
We'll see. They may not get anywhere. I mean,
they have to come home with their tail between their legs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, holy cow.
Mm-hmm. Sunday at 6 a.m. they play. Sunday at 6 a.m. you said?
Yes.
They play, and it is Sweden.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Did Sweden back into the next round too, or did they actually win their soccer match?
They won.
They won. Okay. Well, there you go. So look out for Sweden. That could be bad. All right. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Got some good news to tell you about. There is a potential breakthrough in the treatment of cancer. We'll tell you about that. Also, Representative Ted Lieu has blamed the high temperatures that we're experiencing right now in some parts of the country. He's blamed those temperatures on climate deniers.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, I guess every time you deny that there's climate change, the temperature rises a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. The climate gets so pissed off at you that you won't acknowledge the climate chaos that it raises the temperature just to prove you're wrong.
Is that the same as like every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings?
Yes, it's a lot like that.
Huh.
It's a lot like that. So stop it.
I did not know that.
Stop your terrible denial, because it's killing us.
I did not know that.
Here's what he said. Here's what Ted Lieu said. Suffering from excessive heat? Blame a climate denier. Okay. Climate deniers were wrong. Scientists were right. I love how they're saying that when they've never been right about a single thing in their lives. They've never been right. You have the power to vote out elected officials who refuse to deal with facts and vote in officials who understand we are in a climate crisis.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't with these people. I just can't take it. Let me be perfectly clear. I like this. We'll share more coming up in a minute.
Okay.
Jeez, unbelievable. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Got some X tweets here. Nodak Trumplican tweets, I used to like Pence, but now since his cowardice on January 6th and his recent stupid comments, I hate him. Sorry, Pat. You don't have to apologize for me, but I will say this. There was nothing Pence could do that was constitutional on January 6th. There's nothing he could do. What are you going to do?
I feel like
there's no mechanism for that. There really isn't. Pence, to me, I don't like Pence either. I don't like him. But he didn't do anything wrong on January 6th, if you ask me. What do you expect him to do?
Send it back to the States.
Yeah, but no. It's just not going to happen.
See, that's the think right there. That's the problem.
Right. I know. Call it like I see it. Tweets, sure. He did trash the economy, meaning Joe Biden, I'm sure, further divided the nation and brought us to the brink of war. But he did cure cancer, so there's that. Yeah, that'd be great. If only it were true. Kelly Van tweets, about Trump indictments. As a former teacher, the people behind the indictments remind me of bullies who gang up on an individual. I'll stand up for the single guy every time. These are unleashed adult bullies. Smart asteroid expert. If the U.S. women's soccer team kneels for the anthem and no one tunes in to see it, do they still suck? Yes. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Yes.
From Diane, I hope the women's soccer team loses. They're spoiled brats. How much money are the other countries paying their players? Probably not millions, I'd guess. Well, some of them are.
Some of them are.
The number 3 highest paid woman in the world is from Spain. She makes $4 million a year.
Yeah.
According to this chart,
not 7 though.
No. Then you go all the way down to number 11, Ada Hegerberg from Norway, 1.2 million. There's an Australian in there, just over a million.
The average for some of the English teams were like 400,000 or 500,000.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, soccer's gigantic there.
I know.
Gigantic. Huh. All right.
I know. Maybe they don't generate as much as the men.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that shouldn't matter. There should still be pay equity, okay? Equal pay. Are they?
That's what.
Are they both playing soccer? Yes. Okay.
Then shut up about it.
Exactly.
Pay equity.
Was telling you about the Democrat representative Ted Lieu of California, who's blamed hot weather on climate deniers. And he says, suffering from excessive heat, blame a climate denier. Ugh. Well, actor Dean Cain responded to his post by urging people to vote the congressman out of office. Please vote out Representative Ted Lieu. Thank you. Kurt Schlichter tweeted, someone tell Ted about summer.
Yeah, please tell Ted about summer.
Somebody,
please tell Ted about summer. And then I was reading the other day about a report by the Heartland Institute that talks about how the climate data is all corrupted anyway. The research shows that 96% of the data, the research data, these stations that they get their official information from is corrupted by localized effects of urbanization, which produces heat bias because of their close proximity to asphalt machinery and other heat-producing, heat-trapping, or heat-accentuating products. So it's all gone. I mean, it's all corrupted.
I believe that. I mean, some of these thermometers are placed directly in the sun, not in the shade where you should be measuring the temperature. And like you said, others are placed near heat-producing devices.
They're not in fields or forests or hilltops, none of that.
And why? Well, because it's going to look worse than it already is. So
I saw a big picture of they're trying to blame climate change. Did I send it in? The giant iceberg in Newfoundland, and they show this giant iceberg coming in. Look at this thing. I mean, it's incredible. And wow. I know. And I was
That's Greenland?
Newfoundland.
Oh, okay.
And I was thinking, wow, I that's incredible that this iceberg is showing up, and it really is. That's definite argument for the climate changers. And then I look up, okay, iceberg Newfoundland. Yeah, iceberg chasing. It's just a regular thing every year. These icebergs break off and they come in every year like that. So it's just a part of the thing, part of the landscape.
Right.
That's what happens.
They're always showing, like in Inconvenient Truth, in that movie, they're showing huge chunks of ice breaking off and trying to attribute. It's called calving. It calves. It's like a cow gives birth to its calf and then it's separate. That happens once the ice becomes so heavy that the rest of the ice flow can't sustain it, it breaks off.
Huh.
It's not melting. It just broke because there's so much of it.
Right.
But all of these things then are attributed to climate change.
Yes. So don't deny it.
Don't. You're going to make the temperature go up.
Don't deny. We're already at, what is it, ocean boiling?
Yeah, we're already at global boiling.
Global boiling, yeah.
It's not warming anymore. It's boiling. Now.
Ugh. Is it? Is it?
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right. Let me take a minute here. We are just days away from the Durban Accords, the greatest threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in the past 80 years, but nothing to worry about, right? On August 22nd, the BRICS nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are expected to announce the launch of a new international super currency, fully backed by gold or some other commodity. So that, of course, is part of their long-term plan to supplant the U.S. dollar as the cornerstone of global financial systems. So how do you protect your 401k or your IRA from all of this fallout? You diversify with gold from Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has always been a safe haven in times of uncertainty, like now. So get a free info kit on gold IRAs and then decide for yourself if a tax-sheltered retirement account backed by physical precious metals is right for you. Just text the word PAT to 989898. There's a monumental shift happening among the nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP, and it kicks off August 22nd. Arm yourself with information to protect your retirement savings. Text PAT to the number 989898 and claim your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, it's time to chew the fat now with Jeffy.
All right, let's get to it.
Don't want to forget that.
Let's get to it. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to start.
Well, wait a minute.
No, they can play
the music is playing.
All right, well, let the music play.
Okay.
Let the music play. It's Barry White, by the way. Classic album from Barry White, Let the Music Play.
Oh, okay.
I love that album so much.
Oh, who doesn't? Who doesn't?
You've never heard it even, have you?
Oh, I wore out my album listening to it so much. The needle bore a hole in the actual vinyl. I played it so much.
I know, me too.
Yeah, can't get enough of that.
Too.
Barry White. So good.
Okay, so
all right,
I'm going to start just at a different place because we were just talking about women's soccer.
Yep.
And how they struggle with their paycheck. So I just want to let you know we have sad news from the WNBA as well.
Oh no.
Brittney Griner, perhaps. Yeah. I mean, the most recognizable name in the WNBA.
Yeah, probably.
She is now taking some time off.
Oh no,
from the team.
Oh wow.
She needs to take some time to focus on her mental health.
Do we know how much time she's taken?
No,
just an indefinite period of time.
The team said, "Hey, we fully support Brittney."
Of course they do.
Of course they do. I mean, what else are they going to say? And we're going to continue to work together on a timeline for her return.
Okay, good.
So, no, we don't know how long it'll be. So
I'm sure it won't be too long.
The team's been struggling this year.
Yeah, they're 6-18.
They fired the coach already. I mean, it's been struggling. So maybe that had something to do with the mental health issues from Brittney. I don't know that, though.
We don't know that.
I don't know that.
So why speculate? Don't. Okay? Don't even speculate.
Quick lotto update.
Okay.
So last night they had the Mega Millions for $1.05 billion.
Oh,
no winner. So we have the next drawing is the fourth, $1.25 billion.
$1,250 million.
Wow. $625.3 million cash payout. Take a moment and think about how you're going to feel when I win that. Okay. Powerball, though, hey, I've been mocking the billboards, but this one, we're getting up tonight. Mm-hmm. $95 million. I know. Pales in comparison to the $1.25 billion. I know. But, $48.1 million cash payout. Am I going to retire? I don't know.
On just $48 million?
I don't know. I don't know if I am. I will on the 625.
Okay.
0.3.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. Okay. The 48.1, though.
No, you spit it. 48.1 million. You spit on that.
So the Curry County Tourism Promotions Committee in Oregon has announced last week that Cliff the Sasquatch, the new Paul Bunyan meets Bigfoot mascot, will serve as the new ambassador of Oregon's South Coast.
Oh,
good.
good.
In a groundbreaking move, the mythical creature has been designated as the official stewardship ambassador for this picturesque region, bringing a unique perspective to the environment preservation and wildlife protection. Cliff is a legend among locals and visitors, and now stepping out of the shadows. The costume is an original design intended to make Sasquatch more approachable. And our aim is education with Cliff, and we wanted him to be approachable to the little kids and adults.
Okay.
So Curry County is embracing the Bigfoot makeover. It doesn't say here that whether Cliff speaks or not. Because, we've heard audio from the assumed Bigfoot in Ohio, and then we've heard audio from what was reported as a Bigfoot from a mushroom hunter in Illinois. Mm-hmm. So, let's hope that's not what Cliff is doing with the kids around.
Right.
Okay. So
scary.
I know.
Scary.
I know. Mm-hmm. And as you know, Pat, no one supports zoos.
More than
me.
No.
More than chewing the fat out of myself. Uh-huh. So if this story is true, completely unacceptable. The internet, and we all know that the internet can't be wrong.
Right. It never lies. The internet never lies.
Are saying that people are in bear suits at the Hangzhou Zoo. The zoo has denied these claims that bears are really people in bear suits. Here's the video.
Oh, come on. That's a definite bear suit.
No. Well, now watch the full video. Oh, so they cut it off. Okay. I see where the biased video editing going on.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. I got it. All right. So some people now they posted the Hangzhou Zoo posted on their social media account. Some people think I stand like a person. It seems you don't understand me very well because of the way.
So this is the bear talking. I see.
Yes. Yeah. That's
okay.
Posted on our social media. That's correct.
Definitely not a human in a bear suit. Then, if the bear can talk.
Sun bears are the size of large dogs, standing at about 50 inches tall in their hind legs, compared to grizzlies or other species.
Uh-huh.
Now, I will say this, that other Chinese zoos have been accused of trying to pass off dogs dyed to look like wolves or African cats and donkeys painted to look like zebras. So you decide whether this particular bear is a human or not. I would say no. It's
wow.
If you look at the if we actually saw the full video, you can tell that it's not a person.
You can?
Yeah, I believe that. But
all right,
the video, the way we aired the video,
definitely looked like a person. Yeah.
And speaking of humans as animals, we've all seen furries out there in the wild, but not like this. A Japanese native has transformed himself into a canine, forking over $14,000 for a custom-made collie costume. Isn't that beautiful?
We have that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. We saw a video of this. Somebody.
Yeah, where he was walking down, taking him for a walk.
Yeah.
So he's got the harness strapped around the furry abdomen. That's
a good costume,
That
though.
is a great costume, man.
That's really
for 14 grand. The furries that you see out in the wild are not that good. The furries out in the wild look like a bear in a Chinese zoo.
Yeah.
But, not
this guy.
Not that guy. And it's amazing to me that he said, my friends and family seemed very surprised to learn when I became an animal. Most of his colleagues are also unaware that he dresses as a dog outside of work. I don't want my hobbies to be known, especially by the people I work with. They think it's weird that I want to be a dog, and I guess I don't want to be a dog. Can you believe it?
I can't believe
You
it.
believe somebody thinks they're weird? We're dressing like a dog.
Well,
I
that's
can't.
just intolerance. That's all that is.
Thank you.
It's just hatred and intolerance.
Thank you. That's exactly what that is. Hey, remember to subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat. You can available wherever you get your podcast, Chewing the Fat. Rate and review where you can. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. We've got the Lizzo stuff. We don't have a whole lot of time here, so
did Lizzo just fat shame somebody?
A bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow!
I thought she was the big
ugly
fat crusader.
And no, her whole team are ugly, nasty people.
Oh wow!
They're being sued. It's amazing. They have the her production company, Big Girls Big Tour, is accused of not acting with regard to complaints made by dancers about treatment and harassment. They're accused by the plaintiffs of perpetuating a toxic work environment. And when you read all the stuff that was going on, ugly. It does not sound fun at all.
Huh.
It does not sound fun at all.
Again, somebody so tolerant and inclusive.
I know.
I'm
shocked. Seems to almost go against everything she publicly stands for. Doesn't it?
I mean, it can't be that, but it seems.
It seems that way.
Like that.
Just seems that way because it
weird.
certainly isn't that.
No, it can't be. It can't be. That would be hypocrisy.
Presumption of innocence.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, more Pat Gray Unleashed just around the corner now.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us, too. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter, or X, whatever the heck you want to call it right now. TJ Hoff tweets or X's. Pittsburgh measures the local temp from the airport tarmac. So you think that's going to be a little warm?
No.
No, that has nothing to do with it. Forget about it. Tweets. Thanks to global boiling, I won't need to be worried about the gas stove ban and just do all my cooking outside. Right. Easy. Isaiah 5:8:30 tweets, so in the winter when we have snow and ice storms, will they call it global boiling then? Or do you think they'll take a brief seasonal break to call it global icing? Or maybe global glaciering, because then you got alliteration. Yeah. That would be good. Yeah. Elizabeth Ayala, that audio of Bigfoot is an overlay. The birds never stop singing through the scream. It's fake. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Don't worry about it, okay? The mushroom hunter heard Bigfoot and recorded the audio. Okay, that's what it is from Illinois. Okay. Yeah, real.
Yeah,
real.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay. All right. Jeez. The Associated Press released their preseason football poll with college football.
Yeah.
BYU's in fall camp. They started practice yesterday. This is exciting.
First season in a real league.
First season in a Power 5 league. Yes.
Like I said, a real league.
The first game 1 month away from today. It's September 2nd. September 2nd they start playing. But here's the poll. Of course, Georgia ranked number 1. 15-0 last year. Michigan number 2, Ohio, followed by Ohio State, LSU, and Alabama in the top 5. Alabama's only ranked 5th.
Fourth or fifth, yeah.
Wow. But here is where the AP goes absolutely off the rails. Utah at number 12. The godless animals they think are going to be no. That's just.
Are they joining the Big Ten?
Illegitimate poll, huh?
Are they joining the Big Ten?
No, there's no way the Big Ten wants Utah. There's no way.
I don't know.
I hope.
I don't know.
I don't know. They could join the Big 12. That's the. I want them to be stranded in the Pac-12 because the Pac is done.
Right.
They're done.
Yeah, it's over.
And now it's just a matter of divvying up that league and finding out, are they going to merge with somebody real
like
quick?
The Mountain West is just going to be them, right?
And there's talk of the Pac-12 and the Mountain West merging.
They're going to have to.
Something's going to have to happen.
Going to have to.
Because you've got Colorado that left. Obviously, USC and UCLA left. Colorado went to the Big 12. The other two went to the Big 10. Now it's strongly rumored that Florida State, Clemson, Washington, and Oregon are all going to the Big Ten.
But there was also, I read a story yesterday that talked about how Florida State is trying to wheel and deal between the Big Ten and the SEC. Because their deal with the Big Ten, to get out of the ACC, I guess it's going to cost them $300 million.
Oh,
$300 to get out of the ACC.
$300 million?
I mean, I don't know what it's going to cost Clemson, but I bet you it's pretty close. Both those teams are the ACC, right? I mean, hello.
Yeah. You lose those, and the ACC is going to fold.
Yeah.
Interesting times.
Very interesting times. And then you had Michigan ranked, what, number 2?
Yeah.
In that poll?
Yeah.
And you got Jim Harbaugh going to be, suspended for the first 3 or 4 games of the season.
Have they decided that yet, for sure?
I don't know that it's 100% yet, but, I mean, he illegally texted a recruit
when he wasn't supposed to.
I mean, I should just shut that program.
They should, give it the death penalty. The Michigan football program should be killed.
I heard.
How dare you text someone?
I read a review of their big barbecue weekend, though, at the University of Michigan for the football team, and it was pretty bad. It was terrible. Like, what are they doing with the food that they served at this barbecue?
Why?
Weekend?
What was it?
It was terrible. I can find the story. It was just talked about how embarrassing it was to have this barbecue, the way they served it up. It was a recruiting event, and you think of the Michigan, barbecue in the title, and that's not what they decided to do. It looks like they just went to Costco to buy some food in bulk before serving it to the masses.
I'm telling you. They need to shut that program down. First, the text, and then the fake barbecue.
Imagine Nick Saban in Alabama hosting a recruiting weekend and serving boiled hot dogs and stale chicken tenders. No, it wouldn't happen. The good review.
Spoiled brats.
But Northwestern, they're going to be lucky to have a program at all. Right? I mean, they're going to shut down that program completely, probably.
Yeah.
It's going to be, it's already ugly.
Things are not looking good there.
Yeah, not good at all.
Northwestern had the hazing scandal.
Yeah.
Apparently they had signs up about it all over the locker room.
And I read a story that talked about some of the female players talking about it being hazed as well.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's bleeding over into other sports. It's not going to be good.
Not good at all.
Not going to be good. Now, whether it's, actual hazing or not, I don't know. The story I read about the female hazing was that she had to, the coach made the players decide the punishment, and the players made her run gassers. Oh, the hell.
Gassers what is
where you
that?
run back and forth, up and down the field.
Okay.
Multiple times until you're practically dead. Where you might go like 10 back, 20 back, 30 back, 40 back.
Yeah. We used to call those running lines
whatever.
in basketball.
And So, you run those and, pretty sure
and you're gassed at the end
anyway.
Yeah, but as a punishment, that's inhumane, Jeffy. That's inhumane. That violates the Eighth Amendment.
Hazing?
I don't think so. No. But when there is hazing going on,
yeah, I mean the real the actual story from the football team was terrible.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, it really truly was, and I know we say it a lot, but it truly was unbelievable that it was actually taking place.
Especially in this day and age where I mean all of this stuff is so frowned on, and you can't get away with it.
Every player has a social media account. What are we doing? We don't know this. How do we not?
It's amazing it took this long for it to be discovered. Did you see the John Fetterman thing from the other day? On Friday, tripping all over his words in an interview with the New York Times, and they even admit this. He sat down with the New York Times for a discussion on topics including his health and the overall state of Congress. Of course, you might remember he had the stroke that was almost fatal before the election. He still won, and now he's a U.S. senator.
The 95.
Right. Thank you for that, John. So the New York Times asked him if the political posturing in Congress ever made him cynical. Here's what he had to say. Everyone here is cynical, of course, but we can fight for things that are meaningful. That we should have no hangry.
No, quote him, would you please?
I am. That's an exact quote. Everyone here is cynical, of course, but we can fight for things that are meaningful. That we should have no hangry. It's not funny. It's so awful.
But it is.
Then he said, because he realized, holy cow, Fox News will go crazy if that makes your story. Yeah. So should everybody else on this planet.
Thank you, John.
How can you not go crazy? This is why we said he shouldn't be in the U.S. Senate. So bad. Again, the quote, that we should have no hangry. Okay, thank you for that.
So what you know, he's still in office.
Yeah, still in office. Right. Still helping make important decisions and vote on important bills. I doubt he's written too many bills so far, but this is
Pennsylvania voted him
unacceptable.
Pennsylvania voted him in.
And then if you
Commonwealth, I got it.
If you bring it up, then you're intolerant, you're a hater, you don't like people with disabilities.
Right, well, of course, because he continued, right? Is that the same? Because I have a story here where he talked about how he was at his very lowest, he started thinking about self-harm. And I realized that if I do harm myself, I'll leave behind for my children a blueprint that something happens to you, that's the answer, and how he's struggling with all his mental health issues, and that's his out.
I think that's and
that's the out.
I think that was shortly. He was talking about the time shortly before he checked himself into the mental health institute or wherever he was for a while. Because he was suffering from depression. He's getting depressed that his mind doesn't work, and it hasn't gotten better. I think it's gotten worse, if anything.
Well, they've certainly found ways to try to make it better.
Yeah,
but
I know.
It doesn't seem like it's really working.
No, it doesn't.
No, I would just,
right.
Really like the 95, 95.
I mean, how do you argue with that? How do you argue? You can't. It's the simple fact. You can't argue with that.
What was the quote again from the story? Not that one. No, the story. I wish there was audio.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I looked.
There has to be audio from this interview.
Right? There is.
Yes.
They just haven't released it.
There has to be audio from this.
But let me give you the quote again. That we should have no hangry. hanger, hangry, hanger, hangry. The end.
I will have to circle back on that one.
Pretty sure that's the title of the show today.
Yeah. What? Hungry? Hanger? Hangry? Hanger? Hungry? Hangry?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I'm just being told John Fetterman has written 17 bills? I'll bet those are genius.
Has he?
I'll bet those are genius.
Has John Fetterman
he has.
written 17
How
bills?
dare you?
Has he?
How dare you?
Okay. Me too. Me too.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, 15. I'm not quite up to 17, but no way. Stop it.
I mean, what a world. What a world we live in.
What's the bill? Hanger.
Okay, here it is. Do we have examples of the bills?
Yes, at the bottom.
Okay, that's great. Jeez. No, here's the list.
Yeah, all those are bills, yeah.
All these are bills that he has written.
Okay. That are being purported that he written.
Yeah.
That he wrote.
What do you mean? Why would you doubt? There's a bill to amend the Packers and Stockyard Act to provide administrative enforcement authority over live poultry dealers and for other purposes. There is a bill to amend the Fair Credit Reporting Act to require nationwide consumer reporting agencies, upon request, to use the current legal name of a consumer on consumer reports. How long have I been babbling about that? I know I get pretty obnoxious because I'm always...
You should be happy with that.
Then. Yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm very pleased. I had no idea he was working on that. Bill to amend the Department of Agriculture Reorganization Act of 1994 to improve the Office of Urban Agriculture and Innovative Production, and for other purposes, too. Okay, good. And it goes on and on. I mean, this guy is working hard for Pennsylvania and America.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll thank you.
Okay.
Not to belittle that.
Okay. All right. I know. I believe it. I'm sure it's all John.
Yep. He's on the job, and that just gives me comfort. I just get a warm, fuzzy feeling all
he's
over.
Fighting for your name.
Yes, he is. Yes.
On Consumer Reports. Right.
And don't forget his famous words that will go down in history: that we should have no hungry, hanger, hangry, hanger, hangry. Don't forget that.
I mean, I know it's not funny. I get
It's
it.
not.
I know it's not funny.
It's horrible for him. It's worse for the nation.
And it's funny for us.
Yeah. No, it's really not. But here we are trying to make the apocalypse fun, and this is part of it.
It's definitely part of it.
All right. You know, we're still experiencing the impact of abortion in our lives, the breakdown of families, the trauma that comes from a woman being pressured to have an abortion, and the steep decline of morality that justifies this atrocity. How then are we going to respond? You know, fortunately, last year, the Supreme Court took an amazing step forward in overturning Roe v. Wade, but they're still, in the liberal states, they're trying to do even more of these abortions. Well, Preborn is standing up for the helpless, unborn babies. And because of your generosity, Preborn is able to offer free ultrasounds to women. Once the expectant mother hears that heartbeat, the chances of choosing life more than double. And years from now, when your grandchildren ask you, what did you do about abortion, Grandma, Grandpa? You can say, I saved a life through Preborn. I saved many lives through Preborn because I donated $144 to Preborn, which got 5 ultrasounds. If you could afford it, that would be so greatly appreciated. Whatever you could afford. If it's $1, that would be great. But one ultrasound is just $28 to save a life. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby, pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Got some tweets here. Millennial Pathead tweets, the University of Michigan thing is stupid with Harbaugh, the coach. Coming from an Ohio State fan, Basically, he was leaving a restaurant and paid a recruit's bill during the no contact period. He didn't even talk to him, supposedly. It's like buying a girl a drink. That is ridiculous. Plus, he did text somebody during the dead period.
Yes.
So don't try to minimize this.
With your little pay for a bill thing.
So insane. What I was simply saying is tweets. I love that. The only thing I was simply saying was running lines means something different to Jeffy.
Rail 'em up, baby.
Just saying. It's true. That's probably
Rail
true.
'em
I didn't
up.
think of that. Publius tweets, people ask why I left Pennsylvania. Pat, you just answered the question. Yep. Renewable Goo Michael Fetterman getting elected after such an event isn't surprising. We've elected 5 people to office after they died. Tyler Morgan, what is called hazing has gotten nuts. In 2011, when I was awarded my combat infantry badge, we had to go behind closed doors and have the traditional pinning where the pins were punched into my chest because that was considered hazing. Yeah, well, they're punching a pin into your chest. That's just mean.
It's part of the deal.
I don't like that. I don't like. Tyler was apparently not offended by it, though. Shane Mathena, if they fired Don Geronimo for something as mild as what they fired him for, which was he actually said a woman who walked into the building looked like a cheerleader, right? And then
Is that
did you hear it yesterday?
Is that actually true? No,
Yeah.
but I did hear the story, and I thought,
Yeah.
there's got to be more to that
Out
story,
of
right?
all
There
the
has
things
to be.
that Don Geronimo has said over the years, he just got fired for saying that girl, he called her Barbie, and said that she looked like a cheerleader. Oh, no! So
got to be more to that story. We used to bring strippers in. Holy cow.
Right? That was nothing compared to what Don and Mike used to do back in their glory days.
Oh, no. We
exactly.
all...
That's for sure. That is for sure. Bad engineer. At what point does the Big Ten lose the 10? Yeah, I don't know. When it's 16 teams, when it's 26 teams, it's always the Big Ten.
Still the Big Ten.
I love the time period when the Big 12 was 10 and the Big 10 was 12.
Yeah.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Those days don't come back.
No, they don't. So we know now what happened to Tafari Campbell, the cook for the Obamas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
Tafari Campbell, if you don't know the story, was the cook for the Obama family in Martha's Vineyard, and he was out paddleboarding, fell off the paddleboard and drowned.
In Edgarstown Great Pond, near the former president's Martha Vineyard estate. Okay. We know now that a female staff member of Barack Obama, so another do person in the Obama's group, said she had been with Campbell on a separate board, desperately tried to reach Campbell after he fell in the water, and then was forced to return to the shore to call for help. Sources said then a Secret Service agent then called emergency services. A witness spoke to investigators on the shore, was lucid and clear, showed no signs of intoxication. And so they weren't they only released small details of the incident, withholding the names of nearly everyone involved. The call came in. He had fallen off his board into the water, briefly struggled to stay afloat, and then went under.
Now, why? That's really weird. The guy could swim, and it looks to me on the video, he posted videos of him swimming in a pool. He's a pretty good swimmer. He was doing the, what do they call it? The American stroke?
In a pool.
And he was doing a back
in a
stroke.
pool.
Right.
Not in a
pool.
pond.
But.
Not in a pond.
Okay, that's a big difference.
A multi-agency search continued.
They're both water. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Into the night.
Okay.
Into the night.
Into the night.
Divers.
Could not find him.
Boats. Ground searches. The witnesses directed first responders to the area where Campbell was said to have gone under. No body was found. Authorities searched nearby properties in hopes that he had made it to shore.
But he didn't.
They finally found him Monday morning after they deployed a side scan sonar
Oh, finally.
And located around 100 feet from the shore in 8 feet of water.
100 feet away.
And
he couldn't finish off that swim. He couldn't swim 100 feet to shore.
Well, it was a little difficult when he had that 100-pound concrete slab tied to his feet. But that was it, though.
That does make it more difficult.
That was it, though.
Right.
They didn't mention that in the story. I'm just saying that's a possibility.
Well, how many of us are strong enough to swim to shore when you've got a 100-pound concrete block attached to your leg?
Yeah, it's tough.
It does make it more difficult. I'll grant you that.
Very difficult.
I'll grant you that.
I mean, it's 8 feet of water in a pond.
8 feet of water in a pond, so it's not like there's massive waves or an incredible storm. Everybody said it was a beautiful
those pond
day.
waves.
Those
pond waves,
they
man.
can get nasty.
Yeah.
They can swell up to 2 inches.
And they come back on you?
Yeah.
And then you're tipped over.
It's not good.
So she couldn't reach out with her paddle and say, grab on?
Here's this. Well, not when somebody is beating you over the head with their paddle.
And, I know how difficult it is. I think it's way... you're lighter underwater, so that concrete slab was a little bit lighter if you were to try to pull him out.
Right. But again, it does increase the difficulty factor. It's a challenge at that point with the concrete block on your leg.
It's really weird.
It's a
and I'm really sorry that he's dead, and for his family and the children and all that's very sad. But it still is a strange
It's a
situation.
very weird, And then the Democrats, like when you bring that up, are like, "Oh, you're conspiracy theorists. How can you?" I mean, it's weird. Come on. The guy was a strong swimmer. We've seen it on his videos that he posted.
He's paddleboarding on a
pond.
8 feet.
He fell into it and couldn't swim to shore 100 feet away? Come on now. It's just bizarre.
Only one reason I could think of.
The concrete slab.
That's it.
Water, big water, ocean water.
But it wasn't that.
It wasn't even ocean water.
It was just pond water.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Hey, don't forget to thumb up us on the socials. At Pat Unleashed on X, Instagram, and Threads. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Pat Gray. Subscribe, rate, leave a podcast review on iTunes. Pat Gray Unleashed on podcast, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get your podcast. Then, of course, blazetv.com/Pat. And the promo code DumpFox still working? DumpFox to save $30?
Sure, try it.
Try it. DumpFox.
Sure, try it. If it doesn't work,
then what have you lost?
Yeah.
Oh, about 2.5 seconds, maybe, typing in DumpFox.
And then just use the promo code, Jeffy.
Right.
And save.
Okay.
Big dollars.
Let's see. Also, if you've got something in mind for one of our conspiracy shows, we do that the last Friday of each month. Like last week, it was the MH370 flight that disappeared.
There's so much more to that. I feel like I want to go more into
like
that.
part 2.
Yeah, I really do, because the search for it was fascinating as well.
Yeah,
just amazing. The technology that was used to find nothing, obviously, but the technology that they used was incredible. And then our guy, who we talked to, Weiss, right? Jeff Weiss? Is that his name? I don't remember.
Jeff Wise, yeah.
Wise, yeah. His theory, fascinating.
Yeah,
fascinating. And
really good.
I saw some other people after our interview with him, after our show with him, spouting the same thing. And I thought, isn't that interesting?
Isn't it?
Interesting that you came up with that. Wonder how that happened.
But if you've got something in mind that you'd like to hear us talk about, conspiracies@theblaze.com is where you can email us, and we'll delve into it. But yeah, that should be a fun show when we do the young Earth people. There's people that believe, a lot of Christians believe that the Earth is 7,000 years old. Not 4.5 billion.
I got to tell you,
but 7,000.
Our tour has thrown me off kilter.
Has it?
It's thrown me off kilter.
I've been thinking about it a lot.
Because my father-in-law watches all these history shows, and these guys they're searching, and I love stories about finding fossils, and we're digging into the earth, and they all, we're finding new fossils that are 800 billion years old, and we've got asteroids that are 2.2 gazillion years old. And man, we took that tour. I'm like, man, it's just not right. It's just not. I mean, they may have turned me.
They did turn you?
They may have turned me.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I don't know what to believe.
I don't know either. I don't know either.
I don't know what God's creation process is. None of us do. So, do you? Is it possible that he started a process and then we evolved into this? I guess I don't think so, because that messes with a lot of things. Like, well, I don't want to get into it all, but
I know.
But we'll be talking about the young Earth theory on August 25th. That's Friday, August 25th. That should be a lot of fun. Cool. That should be interesting. In the words of the great John Fetterman, let me just quote him for a moment, that we should have no hungry, hanger, hangry, hanger, hangry. Thank you. Good night and drive safely, everybody. Enough said, I think, right?
Well, yeah.
Enough said.
You want to take the phone call from Tahir?
Let's go to Tahir in Texas. Hey, Tahir.
Bingo!
Yes, nicely done. Got right to it. Beautiful. Excellent. Where did your bingo happen?
First column.
Headed down.
Those days don't come back.
Nope, they sure don't.
Thumb up us on the socials.
Right.
Shatner, Carmen line.
Okay.
Keith says that's a feel-good story, and I will not abide it.
There you go.
That's a
Congratulations.
bingo.
Thank you.
So we set you up with all the stuff?
Oh, yes. I'm going to get the We Are Not a Democracy t-shirt.
Oh, I love that. Good.
Nice.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Tahir.
All right. Thank you.
So she's going to get the $30 worth of merch from PatGrayShop.com and the dozen Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. And man, I've been struggling after going 7 months almost without any of this stuff. My wife keeps bringing home these little samples of cookies from.
So she's just throwing you crumbs to tease you?
Yes.
Oh, look, I came up with this tremendous cookie. Here's a crumb.
And they are so tremendous. You know, you kind of forget and you think, okay, yeah, I know they're good. But then you're reminded about how good they are. And I just want to eat a dozen of them by myself. But we have my favorite cookie of all time now. It used to be the salted caramel.
I know. I love that.
So good.
It's so good.
But we have this
you like is it the
raspberry
lemon?
lemonade.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, my gosh, that's great. I love
pretty
it.
Good. It's not up to caramel.
I love it. And then they had a Barbie cookie for a while. I don't know I think that's sold out. And that was for a limited time during the movie.
A little disappointed they didn't have an Oppenheimer, but go ahead.
No Oppenheimer. No, we didn't have an exploding cookie, which would have been kind of fun, wouldn't it?
What do I know?
You take the wrapper off and it just blows up into a mushroom cloud in your kitchen. That would have been fun. We didn't do one, though. But Kexi, K-E-K-S-I, Kexi.com to get yours. All right. Some weird things happening in the vegan world. There's a vegan influencer who reportedly died of starvation after living on an all-fruit diet. Man cannot live by fruit alone, apparently. There she is. That's really sad. Vegan blogger Zana Samsonova, 39-year-old self-described food stylist and raw plant-based chef.
Yes, I mean, she's just stealing that from me now.
Is she?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, she took that from you.
You think a vegan stylist.
You think
me.
Jeff Fisher.
Chewing the fat.
Yeah, right. That's weird. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think that.
Really?
Yeah. It didn't bring you to mind for some reason. I don't know why. Because I know that.
Listen, I know the struggles.
Yeah.
To go through.
Do you?
I'm sorry that she died. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, very sad.
But I know the struggles. There's another influencer.
Oh, yeah.
now
Eugenia Cooney.
That, I mean, I watched a video of her the other day. And
4.7 million people on her socials.
Yeah.
TikTok, she's got 1.6. YouTube, 2.1. 677,000 on Instagram and 437,000 on Twitch. 4.7 million people follow this person.
And she is struggling with anorexia.
Okay.
And holy cow.
Let's see.
This is not even the video I was thinking of. This is another one. But okay.
Oh, that's breathtaking. Oh, my gosh. How does she walk on those legs? Oh, my God. Oh, good golly. That's horrific.
So terrible. Now, then you think, well, on the other side of it, you're thinking, okay, I'm not judging.
Oh, that's
I'm not. You can be whatever you want to be. Who are we? I mean, if you want to be a they, them.
So is she talking about her struggles with anorexia? Does she discuss that, or does she think she's fantastic? And what does she? So what does she advise people on? What do people go to her for influence on?
What she eats, what she doesn't eat.
What she eats and not eats. Yeah. Okay.
Which is a lot of not.
I wouldn't follow it. I would not follow that diet plan. Ooh, she's obviously trying to get down to her birth weight.
Yeah.
Right.
And look, it's a struggle. I get it. I understand the struggle of anorexia.
Do you?
I do. It took a lot of time for me to beat it.
Oh, and you didn't just beat it. You annihilated it.
I don't know about that.
You destroyed it.
Just saying, I beat it. And I understand the struggle.
Jeez.
Right?
So does she think she's healthy looking like that?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the disease, right? You never look thin enough. You're always fat, which is why it's such a struggle to get through it.
Right.
It took me many years to work on that.
But your success is awe-inspiring.
Well, thank you. Are you Lizzo now all of a sudden?
No.
Fat shaming me?
Absolutely not.
Fat Lizzo Unleashed?
I will not abide fat shaming on this show. As you know, as I've said many times.
I know you've said it.
I will not abide.
I've heard you say it.
Fat shaming on this program. So absolutely not. I'm just impressed at your sheer will to overcome anorexia.
The struggle.
Man.
I understand.
Yeah. Man.
Struggle.
I mean, to the point where to look at you, you would have no idea whatsoever that you've ever had that struggle. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hats off.
Appreciate it. It's just terrible. Right?
Gosh, yeah, that's
I know
really bad. Oh my gosh.
I mean, we have what's her face that thinks she's ugly. You know, she's suffering from body dysmorphia or whatever. Megan Fox. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's plenty more out there. Many people have it. And, do I have body dysmorphia? I mean, during my anorexia days, I may have struggled with it a little bit, but
again, you overcame it. Yeah. That's an understatement. Perhaps the biggest understatement ever made.
I mean,
so yeah. Again,
it's
congratulations.
Almost like you don't appreciate the struggles.
No, of course I do. Of course I do. I'm dumbfounded at the extent to which you pummeled anorexia.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. I know.
A lot of work.
I know it is. It's true. Bud Light distributors have apparently now given up hope for sales to return to normal. Consumers have made a choice. Is the executive of a beer distributor in Texas? Those are his words. They have left Bud Light. And that's how it's going to be. I don't envision a big percentage of them coming back. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's...
Bud Light, of course, and other beers from Anheuser-Busch been hit by that boycott after the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. Among those who lambasted the company were Kid Rock, who posted a video of himself using cases of Budweiser beer for target practice before declaring F Bud Light and F Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah. But again, he still sells it at his bar, I'm told. So,
does Kid Rock have a bar
in Nashville?
And he sells it there.
As far as I know, I mean, they may have pulled the plug by now since he took some heat for it. But as far as I know, you can still pull the lever for Bud Light.
Okay.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get me a beer.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
One poll found that a majority of Americans supported a boycott against Bud Light, while only 30% said they were opposed to it. Mulvaney has since turned on Bud Light. So, geez, even the person that they went to for this new shift in direction for advertising, even that person turned on him and claimed the company abandoned the influencer as critics attacked. As of Monday, Anheuser-Busch's stock had fallen by 13.7% since the beginning of the stunt, or the equivalent of about $18 billion in market value.
And they abandoned her. Did they really abandon her? I mean, she was an influencer. They reached out there. She wasn't the only influencer that they reached out.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Have a nice day. Only it didn't work. No.
So he's
Dylan Mulvaney.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
But it didn't abandon them. We just said that it's done, right? We're done. And thanks for ruining our. It was definitely a bad decision. But I don't know that they've actually have they fired any of those people yet that made those decisions.
Not that I know of.
Billions of dollars have been lost over those terrible decisions.
18 billion. Yeah, 18 billion. And to me, again, I'll say it again. That the chick, what's her name, Heiner Scheiker, or whatever her name was, the marketing person. She's the one that insulted people the most, I think, by saying
absolutely.
That,
she didn't care.
She didn't want him. She didn't want him around.
Yeah, it was time to move on from.
So, congratulations.
Yeah, there you go. Is what you get.
Yep. Now you're down 30% in market share. They went from and this was weeks ago. It might even be worse than this now, but it went from the number one selling beer in the last 3 decades or something to 14th.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Wow. Way to know your audience, your consumers. That's fantastic. All right. Let me tell you about these sheets that I think you're going to love. You know, traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. I hate to hear that kind of stuff.
Stop. Why you say
true. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, eco-friendly bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent 99% of bacteria and require 3 times less laundry. Fantastic. These are luxurious, comfortable, quality sheets that you're absolutely going to fall in love with. I certainly have. And
have you? Because I ordered mine a couple of days ago.
Did you?
I did.
Honestly?
I did the whole toilet seat thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good, right?
No.
So go to trymiracle.com/Pat. Trymiracle.com/Pat and get some Miracle Made sheets today. Whether you're buying them for yourself or a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And when you use the promo code PAT at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and you'll save an extra 20%. So upgrade your sleep right now with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Pat, offer code PAT to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Trymiracle.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
If you missed it, new set of charges against Donald Trump. 4 new charges that were brought by the grand jury that decided to indict him. So that brings a total of 78 charges against Donald Trump right now.
Just the 78.
Just 78.
Just the 78.
Again, it's not 100. So relax. You know, you think about this while the Joe Biden stuff is going on. It's really mind-boggling.
It sure is.
Molly Hemingway in The Federalist kind of put together what we know about Joe Biden and the Burisma thing. Listen to some of the details that we have found out in the last few days because of Devin Archer, who's the whistleblower friend of... And I don't think he even means really to be a whistleblower.
No, he's just kind of telling what happened.
Yeah.
Right? He's telling what happened. This is what happened.
So he's the longtime business partner, close friend of Hunter's. He told congressional investigators that a meeting in Dubai on December 4th, 2015, with top executives of Burisma asked Hunter Biden and himself and Devin Archer for help from D.C. Who is in D.C. that they could get help from? Oh,
I can't think of anyone.
And I can't either. I don't know what he means by it.
Fetterman was not in office then.
Not yet, so you don't go to him. So at the time of the meeting, Hunter Biden's dad, of course, Joe Biden, was serving as vice president of the United States of America. So Mykola Zlochevsky, the owner of Burisma, and Vadim Bazarsky, a Burisma executive, wanted to get Ukrainian prosecutor Viktor Shokin fired because he was investigating the company.
How would one go about doing something like that?
Man, I don't know. I guess you would call somebody in D.C. for some reason. I don't know why. So Hunter Biden put Zlochevsky and Bazarsky on a call with D.C., obviously Joe Biden. Joe did meet and speak to these people. Archer said he wasn't part of that conversation, but Burisma was paying Archer and Hunter Biden as much as $83,000 a month to serve on Burisma's board, despite the fact neither of them had any relevant experience, no expertise for the job outside of their frequent meetings and contact with Vice President Joe Biden. The two were hired the same month that the UK had opened an investigation into company officials, so their money was pretty well spent. A mere 5 days after the Dubai meeting and phone call, Vice President Joe Biden gave a speech to the Ukrainian Rada, its parliament in Kiev, attempting to lay out the groundwork for firing Shokin. It just took a few months before, in fact, Shokin was fired. Biden has bragged about this in a public speech from 2018.
And that speech that he gave apparently, is what, 2 or 3 months prior to him bragging about it. So it didn't happen fast enough. He had to go in there and browbeat him.
Right. He admitted to bullying the Ukrainian government into firing because he was going to. Well, here's what he said. And I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee, and I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and Yatsenyuk that they took action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they had. They were walking out to a press conference. I said, nah, I'm not going to. We're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. That's what the president of Ukraine said to him at the time. I said, call him.
I wish he would have.
I know.
I wish he would have.
I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion.
Called him on that.
You're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here in, I think it was about 6 hours. I looked at them and said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bee, he said. Actually, he said the word. He got fired. So he's bragged about that very incident.
Yes, he has.
And now we find out all of this insider information from Devin Archer, and you put this all together, and it's amazing.
I know. It's almost. I will say this about the Devin Archer thing. I think it's. I feel like it's been decided that we're just going to throw Hunter under the bus now for all of it, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get.
They'll sacrifice Hunter.
He didn't get the deal. For sure. He didn't get the deal that he was supposed to get, so that it could all go away. Mm-hmm. And so now I think we're Hunter's going to be sacrificed at the altar.
Yep.
And maybe Devin, as a friend of Hunter, is actually testifying as a whistleblower, but to try to save some face for Hunter, that it wasn't all him. Mm-hmm. That it was Joe that was part of this deal too. Because when they serve Hunter up, it's going to be on him, all of it. And Joe's going to pretend like he didn't have any idea any of it was going on. I stopped by and shook hands and said hello. I was on a couple of phone calls and asked about the weather. I mean, I had no idea of any of this.
This is what he says.
I did my job. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. No one has indicated I have.
Have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. And everybody's looked at it and said there's nothing there.
No.
Ask the right questions.
Everybody's looked at it. Really?
Ask the right question. He's pointing his finger. I want to break that finger off every time I
What's
hear
the
him say
right
that.
question for you, Mr. President? Is it what's your favorite color? Would that be the
Yes.
That's the right question.
What kind of ice cream are you going to eat tonight?
Right. how bad is Donald Trump? He's really a bad person, isn't he?
Right.
That's the right question.
Aren't you tired of people saying
despicable.
that the election was fraudulent?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking it. I'm sorry, what was the question again? I can't hold it in
So
my
Hunter
mind.
is going to be sacrificed at the altar of Joe Biden.
Yeah, he
you
will.
can count on that.
He will be.
So there's no doubt about it. They're not going to let that happen. Now, I still, Joe could just go away. I know, well, we want him to go to jail. That's not going to happen. And it just isn't. He just needs to go away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. Hunter's going to be sacrificed for that, for sure. They're not going to let that go.
No.
And Joe's not going to take any of the heat for that.
No, he's going to try not to. I hope it doesn't work. The Republicans have got to be bulldogs on this and make sure this sticks.
That'd be nice.
Because man, they're trying to make nothing stick to Donald Trump right now, and they're trying to get him in jail.
Right.
Well, here's a guy who has been bribed to do certain things on behalf of foreign entities and has been paid apparently millions of dollars for it. I'm sorry. He deserves to be in jail. All right, we got overtime coming up, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.